You could feel a change was in the air. The Bruma Secca was coming. It's when the Sahara sands blow over the ocean islands. I was glad to be in the marina. I needed to work on my episodes, and here I have shore power. There is no sun to power my batteries today. My friends Simon, Zhao, and Christoph set out to reach the Mediterranean in this chartered catamaran. You know, I like it here a lot. I met this guy at the floating bar. His name is Addy. He brought me to La Libreria, a popular jam spot. But in a few days, I'll be going out there, at anchor. This was filmed before the Sahara dust storm, obviously. And as you can see, life has pretty much come back to normal in Mindelo. And here it is, the Sahara dust and the wind. It was a brutal few days with winds at a constant 25 knots, sometimes gusting to near 40 knots. It's a nerve-wracking feeling. The wind heels the boat as if you're sailing. Things are starting to get ripped apart. You can feel the anchor chain straining, and you hope that it will hold. I did check the anchor a few days later when it was more calm. My Mantis anchor had been holding during the worst of it. But just to make sure, as I would now be staying here, I wanted to make sure I stayed. And the Mantis is well dug in. But now there's another problem rising. The bearing for my propeller shaft is worn out. There's some play there, and that needs to be fixed. During the worst of the wind, I like to stay in the boat, just in case something lets go. But usually later in the afternoon, the wind lets up, and you can go to shore. And here I park my dinghy, right next to Peter. Tomorrow is supposed to be calmer, and we want to go do something. There's a beach I've been wanting to see. It's pretty remote, and I thought you could only go by boat or on foot. But Lily had been there and said there was a track. Peter's a rally car driver back in Canada, so here he's in his element. I bet he wishes he had a few more horses under that hood. I often wonder about the first settlers that came to this island many centuries ago. This is a desert. How could anyone survive? But they did. And now they are thriving, if it wasn't for COVID-19. The island has managed COVID-19 pretty well. It closed its borders early. There have been only a few isolated cases, and they were handled effectively. Hardly any of the population of about 100,000 residents had any contact with the virus. So the virus has been contained. Obviously here, the three of us risk nothing. The big problem for the island is that me, Peter, and a handful of foreigners are the only tourists here. And tourists bring money and job opportunities. As well, the large Cape Verdean diaspora cannot come back to their vacation homes and infuse more money. So many locals are out of work and struggling. This is a very hard place to survive. There were a few fishermen, 5. With us, that makes 8 people on this immense stretch of virgin beach. They would move over to the other side of the beach, they said. The tide was coming in and there would be fish over there.
Look at this beach that we have to ourselves, man. It's me, my Peter, and the... Alright.
That left us all alone, and so we took advantage of our loneliness in the cool Atlantic waves. We were in a mood for another excursion out in the country. As I mentioned before, Peter had been confined to his boat several weeks, and now wanted to party with the friends I introduced him to. The same house was available and we took good old Paige with us, as well as a few other friends who popped in and out. I played with my drone, but it still does not have a functioning compass and the GPS won't work. After these few shots, I crashed it again. Peter had rented a car, so while he was taking a nap, me, Fanny, Sushi, and Mauricia went to another beach. This is Sao Pedro. It was the weekend, so people were out. The ocean was spectacular. There were huge swell coming from the south, which created this stunning scenery. Fanny is a pop star. Everywhere we go, she knows someone. And in this case, they even had drinks to offer. Later we came back to the house and continued through the night. Before leaving, Fanny had promised to cook us up a meal, and she came through with her promise. She's actually a really good cook. But the weekend was not over. We cleaned up the house and went yet to another beach, Flamenco.
Está cool.
Oh yeah.
I'd been here before, and it's also stunning. The ocean was ferocious, and it teased us old dudes to test out our courage. It was scary and exhilarating. Us old dudes fell one up on our young friends. They can dance, but us oldies are not afraid of some waves. The nature here was exhibiting its power, just at the tip of our toes. We stayed until nightfall, and on the way back, Peter put on another rally car demonstration. There's more to see, and we will see it.